Hello again, and thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Dr. Drjloknows. Today I would like to talk with you about a very common reason people go to see a therapist, and that is issues related to their childhood. I know, super broad, but I'll make it much more specific. You may recall that in Bottle Theories 1 and 2, the videos that are among the first I've done for Dr. Drjloknows, we talked about the 5 categories of events that happen to children that really shape who they are as adults. And for the sake of time, please feel free to revisit those videos. So I'm not going to go through them all right now because I don't have a ton of time, and neither do you. So one of the things that is super important about this is, let's say a child is physically abused by their parent. Horrible, happens all the time, unfortunately. And that child is now a grown-up and they are in a movie theater watching a film with a friend and they're having a great time. And all of a sudden on the screen, a child is being hurt. And they don't have quite a flashback or exactly a flashback. I'm not talking about a post-traumatic stress disorder response, but I am talking about the person becoming a little activated. Their respiration goes up, their pulse quickens, they start to feel a little clammy. And because they've been in therapy, they know enough to do some grounding exercises, some deep breathing. They touch each finger to their thumb in order to take their brain out of their brain and into their body, which is coping skill. And maybe they count hats, which might be a little bit difficult in the dark, but they know what to do to start to bring themselves out of it. However, let's say that person is struggling a little bit. One of the things that I like to share with folks is to understand that it's only a part of them that's being activated, because we are made up of parts. We have an emotional part, an intellectual part, an adult part, a child part, a teen part, a athlete part, a hiker part, a this part, a that part, a student part, a parent part, a child part. You get what I'm talking about. And the part that is getting activated while watching the film is the child part, because the trauma occurred during childhood. And one of the things that I think is incredibly helpful is for you or whomever we're talking about to remember that the child part can be asked to go away. In other words, I encourage my clients to think about a stage. I happen to love Broadway, and I love Broadway. Don't get there enough. But let's say the child part is center stage, and we send that child part backstage and then call forth the adult part who has an understanding of what that reaction was, who understands that with memory comes a physiological response, right? Because that's all the amygdala being activated and the limbic system and the frontal lobe. We've talked about that in other videos. We have an anxiety response that's happening as a result of trauma. So if we send the child part backstage and the adult part comes center stage, then the adult part can say, all right, wait a minute. I know what's happening. I'm going to do my deep breathing. I'm the one in control, not the child part. And I'm going to send that child part backstage. Or that child part is going to go to bed, or they're going to take a long walk, or they're just going to poof, disappear like a bubble popping. Whatever image or visualization you want to use. But the point is to have the adult part come forward, because the adult part understands the physiological response to a memory. And that gives you more control, because information is power. And we want to use the information we have in the moment that we need it. So I hope that is helpful. And I really thank you so much for stopping by Dr. Drjloknows. Please subscribe and share with a friend if you found this helpful. Thanks again. Have a great day.